Little Snow and the 7 Ducklings. It was a bright and beautiful morning in the kingdom's meadow, and Mother Duck had just left her little ducklings in charge of a very special task. "My darlings," she quacked, fluffing up her feathers, "I must go find us some breakfast. Until I return, you must watch over your last unhatched sibling. It is very, very important. Can I trust you?" "Yes, Mama," the 6 ducklings chirped in unison. "Good. Stay together and don't let the egg out of your sight." With a final loving nuzzle, Mother Duck waddled off toward the riverbank in search of food. The 6 ducklings, a motley crew of personalities, nodded enthusiastically, their tiny webbed feet padding around the large speckled egg. There was Happy, who was always cheerful and loved to laugh. Grumpy, who complained about everything, but secretly had a soft heart. Bashful, who was shy and blushed at the slightest attention. Sneezy, who couldn't stop sneezing. Doc, who was full of curiosity. And Sleepy, who, true to his name, was always dozing off. "All right, everyone," chirped Happy, bouncing on his webbed feet. "Let's keep an eye on this little one." But Happy's attention span was shorter than a tadpole's tail. A faint melody drifted from the far side of the pond. "Oh, listen, someone's playing." He waddled towards the sound, his bright eyes sparkling. The music was coming from a girl with hair as dark as midnight and skin as pale as fresh snow. Little Snow, as she was known, was playing a simple tune on a reed flute. Happy, captivated, joined her, bobbing his head to the rhythm. Soon, Bashful, his cheeks a rosy pink, timidly approached. It sounds nice," he whispered, his voice barely audible. He was drawn in by the cheerful music and Little Snow's friendly smile. Grumpy, though he tried to resist, found his little webbed feet tapping along. He grumbled, "It's not half bad." But his eyes betrayed his amusement. Doc, ever curious, peered at the flute. "How does it make that sound?" he wondered, his little head tilted. He was soon asking Little Snow a flurry of questions about music and reeds. Sneezy, with a perpetual sniffle, sneezed a tiny sneeze. "Achoo, it's quite catchy," he admitted, wiping his beak with his wing. And so, one by one, they left the egg behind, with only Sleepy keeping watch. Or rather, not keeping watch, because he was snoring peacefully, completely unaware that something very important was about to happen. With Sleepy seemingly settled, the 5 ducklings joined Little Snow, playing games and dancing to her music. They splashed in the shallow water, chased dragonflies, and laughed until their little bellies ached. "You have so many brothers and sisters!" Little Snow exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder. "I'd love to meet the one still in the egg and the one who's sleeping." "Oh, you'll love Sleepy," Happy chirped. He's very sleepy, and the egg will hatch any minute now." They led Little Snow back to where the egg had been. But Sleepy was fast asleep, his little head tucked under his wing, and the egg was gone. "Sleepy!" Happy cried, shaking him gently. "Where's the egg?" Sleepy blinked, his eyes wide with confusion. "Egg? I thought it was still here." Panic rippled through the ducklings. Mother Duck would be back soon. "We have to find it," Doc declared, his voice filled with determination. "But where do we start?" Bashful asked, his voice trembling. "Look." Little Snow pointed to a trail of tiny eggshell fragments leading away from the nest. "It looks like it rolled." And as they followed the trail, Little Snow noticed something strange. Did anyone else hear that? A tiny hic echoed from the tall grass. "Hic!" Grumpy tilted his head. "What is that?" "Hic! Hic!" The eggshell trail led them through a patch of tall reeds, past a grumpy-looking frog, and under a willow tree. With each hic, the sound grew louder, and the eggshell fragments became more numerous. "It's getting closer!" Little Snow exclaimed. "Hic! Roll!" A round shape tumbled forward from behind a bush. Doc squinted. "It's the egg!" The egg wobbled, and with every hic it rolled a little more, shedding small bits of eggshell along the way. Sneezy gasped. "It's hatching!" They all gathered around as the last bit of shell cracked open to reveal a tiny fluffy duckling with the cutest, biggest eyes. She blinked up at them and gave a little hic. "She has the hiccups!" Little Snow giggled. The tiny duckling wobbled on her feet and let out another hic, making her hop in place. "Oh, she's adorable," Happy beamed. "I dunno, she looks kind of goofy," Grumpy muttered, but his frown softened as he watched the little duckling tumble around. Bashful smiled. "She's perfect." Doc tapped his head, then booped the baby duckling's beak. She hicked again and wiggled her tiny wings. Little Snow smiled. "Should we call her Hiccup?" The ducklings all agreed. The little duckling, now fully hatched, looked around with wide, innocent eyes. Every time it hiccuped, it waddled a little, leaving a trail of broken eggshell behind it. "Hic, hic!" It squeaked again, then looked at its siblings and Little Snow, its eyes filled with confusion. Just then, Mother Duck returned, her beak full of juicy reeds. "My little ones," she quacked, her eyes widening as she saw the trail of eggshell and the tiny hiccuping duckling. "Mama!" the ducklings chorused, explaining the adventure. Mother Duck chuckled, her eyes filled with warmth. "Oh, Hiccup! You certainly gave us a scare, but you're here now, and that's all that matters." Little Snow clapped her hands. "That was so much fun! Maybe next time we can go on another adventure together." The ducklings cheered in agreement. Well, all except Sleepy, who was already snoring again. And so, with their new sibling Hiccup, Little Snow and the 7 ducklings waddled back home, ready for whatever fun awaited them next. The end.